Alright, here's how I play Knights of Cydonia, and after teaching the song to a lot of beginners, I've kind of figured out a good way to do it that isn't too hard. So, it's not exactly accurate, but it's hard when you're learning a song like this to do it exactly accurate. If anyone has any parts that they want to learn in more detail, just leave a comment and I could try to talk about that. But some parts, like some of the tabs have like the synth part tabbed out, and I've done that with a few students, but it just doesn't sound that cool, and even the students who really wanted to learn it accurately ended up not really liking that. So here's kind of what I've settled on. This song's been around for a while, and I've taught it probably like 20 times, and after teaching it that many times, this is kind of what we've come up with. So first thing, you're going to go 0, 2, 3, 5, 5, 7. So we play those bass notes. So this is E, F sharp, G, A, B, A, B. I'm going to say the notes and stuff during this lesson just to kind of add in some more knowledge. It's good to know. So one more time. First we do the bass notes, and we like to do this just twice usually when we play this song. E, F sharp, G, A, B. And then you do the same thing but with 5 chords or power chords. So E5, it's actually better to do it like this. I'm holding on 2, 2. And it sounds cool if you go down, up, down. Then we need F sharp 5, so 2, 4, 4. G5, 3, 5, 5. Then we need A5. And there's a down, up, down. And then A5, B5. So these are power chords. So the whole intro should sound like this. And it sounds cool if you twang them out a little bit. And then you do with power chords, so E5, F sharp 5, G5, A5, B5. That's the very first thing. Then you go really up high. Some tabs say do it from 15, some from 12. It just is kind of fun to go up like as high as you can. And then you want to pick really fast. And then you slide down. So the faster you pick, the cooler it will sound. Some of my students can't do it, and we just slide down like this. We end on an E minor chord, but if you can learn how to do this, it's kind of a cool technique. Whoops. It sounds good to me if I go on 19. You just pick really fast. Or you can start on 12, it doesn't really matter. But you gotta be picking fast, so. And then kind of another cool trick I like to show my students is you can actually get kind of a whammy bar effect on your acoustic if you pull the acoustic towards you. What you do is put your arm up here and just pull it. So when you get to this last chord, this is E minor, 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0. If you go like this, you can actually get a whammy bar effect on your acoustic. You kind of got to like actually pull it. You won't break your guitar. I mean, don't do it super hard, but it sounds pretty cool. So I like to go to 19. So that's the intro, then after that comes the solo. So what you want to do, and I'm going to put the tab below, you want to go 5, 4, 2, 0. And if you use the fingering I'm going to do, I'm going to start this over. Just if you use the fingers I'm doing, it will be a lot easier. I actually don't like to use my pinky. Let me just actually play it like I would. Sometimes when I start teaching, I get too carried away with all the details, but so here we go. 5, 4, 2, 0. 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, 0. That's the very first part. You can look at the tab. Then you need 1, 2, 4, 2. 5, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. So that's the first part. I'll play it one more time. And it sounds cool too. They have like an effect on it, but when you're playing on your acoustic, you're not going to make it sound like that, but you can kind of do this vibrato thing. So that sounds pretty cool for acoustic without having an effect on an electric. Then the next part of the solo, you go up to 8 on the G string. So that was all on the D string, this is on G. So let me do that again. So it's 8, 5, 0, 7, 8, 7, 5, 3, 7, 5, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5. We play the entire solo now without saying anything, and you can look at the tab, so it's going to be. Then after that, there's a lot of stuff that happens that's really hard to make it sound right. So usually what we do is just skip to like the main verse. And it's going to go like this. It's going to go... Some people online have it with all power chords. Some people have like little triads. I found it just sounds coolest to use bar chords. So the first chord is going to be G sharp minor. So it's 4, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4. Then you go to B major. So middle finger has to come down. 7, 9, 9, 8, 7, 7. Then you go up to E major, which is this tricky bar chord. 7, 9, 9, 9, 7. Then back to B major. And you almost do the same thing as E major, but you slide over 6 frets. E flat major. Then you go back to E major, so slide it over half step to the right. Then you go down to G major, 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3. And then you end on B major. So let me play the first half of this verse chord. So it should be G sharp minor, B major, E, B, E flat major, E major, G major, B major. Then you go E minor, which is kind of cool because it just had E major. So it's 7, 9, 9, 8, 7. B major. We need C major, you slide over to the 8th fret. So it's the same shape but over here. Then you go down to G major. Then you go to B, C, then you go back to G, B, and E minor. I kind of like to do this sort of vibrato sort of thing on the acoustic. So here's all the chords without me saying anything. Then a lot of other stuff happens that's really hard to reproduce on an acoustic guitar. So after that, we usually skip to the end of the song. And it's real fun just to play along. If if you're a good singer, you could probably figure out a way to like actually perform this on acoustic. But so the next part that's real fun to do on guitar is just, now like the real version is a little more complicated. It goes like, it's like, it's got little variations. I used to know them, I can't remember all of them, at the end of each riff. But for most people it's just too much and it's hard to remember them later. So it's kind of easier just to do it like this. So we're going to go to 5. And I'm not even going to teach it with the hammer-ons. I'll play it that way, and if you're more advanced you can do it. But most people I find can't really play this that way, so just go like this. 5, 7, 7. So it's a 5 and 3 7s on the A string. Then you put your pinky on 5 and you go 5 2 2 2. And you go up to 7, and we're going to go 7 0. Then 3 and 0. So 5 7 7. 5 2 2. 7 0. 3 0. If you want to speed it up and you're more advanced, you can do it with hammer-ons. So I'm just adding a hammer-on or a pull-off to the beginning of each part. And then if you're really more advanced, just look for the tab of this. There's tons of them. And there's like a little variations at the end. Like the first one I think goes... something like that. Something like that. Each one has a little variation at the end.